Hi everyone, Kieran Brown here, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you through a week of my current training split. So I'm on a lean bulk at the moment, and I'm doing a push-pull legs, and then rest and repeat. So it's basically 3 days on, 1 day off, and that works out to be 5.25 times per week. A lot of people think it's 6 times per week, but it's actually only every fourth week that you're training 6 times in a week. The rest is just five. So first of all, on our push day, I always start with incline barbell bench press. I prefer this to the flat because it works on the upper chest, which is like a more aesthetic looking part of the chest compared to the flat. I follow that up with Arnold press, and I do this at the moment just because I'm recovering from ACL surgery. So I want to try and basically lift as little weight as possible, just because I don't want to put too much weight on my left leg. So with the Arnold press, you can't lift as much as the standard like overhead press. So that's why I've gone for that one. Next is the isolateral wide chest press, just like on a machine, load up with the plates. And I make sure to have quite a slow tempo with this and have a little pause at the bottom. So maybe like a 3 second negative and then 1 second pause at the bottom, and then push up quickly, like with power. And yeah, pretty much all these exercises are going to be three sets. Next is the cable crossover, and I put the cables up to the top to the high position, and again make sure to get the good contraction, and that's finishing off the chest. I move on to tries next, and I've started doing the overhead tricep extension. I used to really feel this in my elbows a lot, and if you feel the same, then it's probably something to do with your technique. So I just start on a lighter weight and play around with like your elbow position until you can basically just feel it in your triceps. Next is the classic tricep extension with the cable. It's good to pair these two because it's just nice and quick. You don't have to move or set anything different up. And then I finish on a lateral raise on a machine where I'm facing the machine. And I usually drop set at the end of this. I do 3 working sets and then 3 drop sets after that. I prefer this to the dumbbells just because there's less momentum and less swing when you're sitting down, and I feel it more. But I will mix it up between the machines and the dumbbells. So next is back and buys day. So I start with the lat pull down as I'm on a bulk at the moment. I don't do weighted pull-ups because as I increase in weight, then the weighted pull-ups will get harder and harder, even if the weight stays the same. So I usually do weighted pull-ups on a cut and then lat pull down on a bulk so that I can get the progressive overload every week. Next is the seated row. Again, just on the machine, 3 sets. And then for the traps, I do upright barbell row. I do prefer shrugs, but as I mentioned earlier with the Arnold press, I'm trying not to carry like heavy dumbbells around just because of my knee. And I'd probably be using the 40 kilo dumbbells to do shrugs. So I've been doing upright barbell row at the moment, which is I started on like 30 kilos. I've worked up to 40 kilos at the moment, but obviously that's just like one bar. Next is the rear delt cable crossover with a really light weight. If you've ever done this before, you'll know that you can't really do much weight on it. I actually set the cables around about shoulder height. I know I see in this picture they've got the cables at the top. So yeah, I'm not sure if that'll get a better contraction or not. And then onto biceps, barbell preacher curl. I like to start with the bilateral exercise, 3 sets of that. And then onto dumbbell incline hammer curl. This is the only one I've got a picture of at the moment. So I like to do it incline because, again, same with the lateral raise. You can't really swing and do like cheat reps as much. So if you're lying down and lying back, then you can't really swing much. And finally, what I call the barbell bicep sevens. So basically what you do is you grab a barbell and you do 7 half reps at the bottom of the motion, 7 half reps at the top of the motion, and then basically as many full reps as possible, ideally 7. And that just gives us like a real burn at the end of the session. Onto legs. I'm not doing too much for legs at the moment. Still doing some rehab basically for my knee. So I'm able to squat and also able to do seated calf raises. Hoping I'll be able to do the rest of the exercises soon. So yeah, it's pretty short this session. I also do some like balancing stuff for physio as well. And I like to do the reverse pyramid training for most of these exercises where I start with the heaviest weight and then I basically take like 10% of the weight off each set and try and do like higher reps. So yeah, the first set is usually the hardest. So just to recap, if you want to pause the video and see them all on one screen at once, this is my push workout, this is my pull workout, and this is the legs. So in summary, this kind of taken years for me to figure out, and I would have saved so much time if I just bought a program like straight away and just followed that. I kind of wish I did, but it wasn't until I actually bought a program which had all this laid out that I finally started to see some progress. So if you're new to training as well, I definitely recommend like lowering the bar as much as possible. Well, if you're struggling to go, then it's just because the bar is set too high. So I used to think that the more the better. You know, if you could go 6 or 7 times a week and do like long sessions, loads of volume, that was a good thing. But it was just too much, especially for a beginner. And it wasn't until I reduced the sets, the sessions to 3 a week for 45-minute sessions that I was then able to get consistent. And then from there, I built the habit and I just started to enjoy it more. And then I started to add more sessions and more exercises per session. So yeah, that's everything for today's video. If you want some one-to-one coaching to help you lean down, build a gym habit, start to build some muscle, then click the first link in the description. But apart from that, that's everything. Thanks for watching and I'll see you tomorrow.